Good afternoon, and welcome to the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice at the University of San Diego. My name is Milburn Line. I'm the director of the institute here, and I want to welcome you to the University of San Diego and to the IPJ. So Dawada. And you have now formally exhausted my Somali, so that is about as far as I can do, but I wanted to say thank you. We are very excited about you being here. I know this is your third year here at the Institute, and I want you to know that we will have fourth year and fifth years as long as it is necessary. Joan Kroc, our founder, the founder of the Institute, wanted the Institute to be a place where people actually do peace and justice work and not just talk about it. And so part of that mission is to work with organizations here in the San Diego area as well, with people like Mr. Abdi Mahmoud and Ogaden Voice for Peace on doing peace and justice work. And so that is part of our commitment here to you today, and will continue to be our commitment in the future years. So this is year 3, but we will continue to move forward. I'm most excited, too, about the efforts you have made today to make this conference truly multi-sectoral. In my own experience, where we have the most impact is often when we have socially mobilized organizations from civil society working with policymakers and working with actual government representatives. And I want to recognize, first and foremost, that we have the former Prime Minister of Somalia, Dr. Galaid, here with us today. We're pleased by that. And we also have our own, and he must have just stepped out, Joel Wiegert from the office, there he is, I saw you. Yeah, Office of East African Affairs from the United States State Department. We're pleased that we have one of our own diplomats here today. And also very excited that one of our colleagues from the Alliance for Peace Building, who was intimately involved in the Ethiopian and Eritrean peace agreement, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Alliance for Peace Building, Mr. Chick Dombak, is here as well. So we're very pleased to inaugurate this conference, and this house is your house. Please make the best use of it. And I'd like to bring to the stage Mr. Abdi Mahmoud from the Ogaden Voice for Peace. I was going to say Horn of Africa. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Line. Good afternoon. It's so good to see so many of you taking time out of your very busy schedule to attend this very important conference. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you for taking the time again, as I said, to attend this historic conference. It's a conference that reaffirms our right for human rights and social justice. It also gives us a time to commit to this goal. It is natural for nations, people, and the individuals to demand respect for their rights and freedoms and to struggle to end repression, racism, economic exploitation, military occupation, and various forms of colonialism. This conference addresses the root cause of the injustices that made all of us leave our beloved homeland. Today, we are witnessing a tremendous popular movement for the advancement of human rights and democratic freedoms in the world. The entire world is, as it seems, trying to find ways to coexist. With President Obama's historic speech in Cairo geared toward building a mutual relationship with the Muslim world in the West, to historic democratic elections that are taking place throughout the continent of Africa, the world is indeed gradually changing for the better and eager for peace. If I could have a quote from the former Secretary of General Kofi Annan, and it says, quote, "Peace, it is the basis of our existence, the essence of our identity, the cause that animates everything that we do." Unfortunately, throughout the Horn of Africa, we continue to witness a vicious cycle of violence that deprives human beings of all ethnicities the right to carry out normal lives. Many of these governments are essentially robbing our youth of their future. None so is the situation more serious than Ethiopia, where a one-party rule continues to dominate the entire population of Ethiopia and neighboring regions through fear and terror. It is therefore our collective responsibility to do all that we can to oppose oppression and military domination. The international community cannot, with good conscience, ignore the underlying roots of violence and conflict. It's time that African issues should be dealt with based on their merit. The movement we started just a few years earlier is already bearing fruit. The Ethiopian regime, no longer the darling that it used to be in the corridors of power around the world, especially in the West. The regime has seen its policies being challenged throughout the world. In the late 2007, Ethiopia expelled 6 Norwegian diplomats under the pretext of Norway supporting terrorists. In April of 2008, Ethiopia severed diplomatic ties to the state of Qatar for airing of a documentary by Al Jazeera on the dire human rights situation in the Ogaden or the Somali region. In the United States, the Obama administration's relationship with Ethiopia is significantly different than the Bush administration, whose priority was counterterrorism. Rather, the Obama administration's view that developing countries need strong institutions rather than strong men is a very good policy, in my opinion. Ethiopia's darker instinct need to be extinguished at this stage, not accommodated. It is therefore in the national security interest of the United States to hold the Ethiopian regime accountable for its actions in all of Ethiopia, including the Ogaden. As the 2002 National Security Strategy of the United States states, quote, "Weak states can pose as a great danger to our national interest as strong states. Poverty does not make poor people into terrorists and murderers, yet poverty, weak institutions, and corruption can make weak states vulnerable to terrorist networks within their borders." With that, I will